back to the news at 10. The Ekiti State House of Assembly has held a public hearing on the prohibition of cattle grazing bill. State authorities note that incessant attacks on people by suspected herdsmen led the state's lawmakers to seek legitimate ways to control their activities. The public hearing was moderated by the State House of Assembly's Joint Committees on Agriculture and Environment.
Wanton destruction. That's what is usually left in the wake of attacks on communities by suspected herdsmen. And Ekiti State is not an exemption. The quest to ensure that this sad development is brought to a halt is the reason why this public hearing on the grazing bill is holding at the House of Assembly in the state capital. Critical players, including legislators, security agencies, traditional rulers, and representatives of Fulani herdsmen, are in attendance. So the session kicks off with suggestions as to how the problem should be tackled. One such template is the need for operational guidelines for cattle rearers in the proposed bill.
We want the bill to put into consideration regulations that must make it mandatory for current owners and rearers of cattle and other animals to be able to put into check the activities, particularly in the states.
Those who are here on behalf of the cattle rearers would like a vigilante group set up as a way forward.
This is the problem in Nigeria, this cattle investment and farmers. We have a problem, but this problem, the only solution is
These suggestions do not appear to fall on deaf ears, as the Deputy Speaker of the House, who presided over the hearing, says the ideas thrown up should not be taken with levity.
It is the aggregate of these knowledgeable people who are critical stakeholders in this business that we mold and we look into critically.
The consensus here is that the problem can be solved if the views expressed are taken on their merits and implemented or discarded, depending on how valid they are judged to be. The preservation of human lives and a return to peaceful coexistence, they say, should be the guiding principle.
Ayo Tunde Balogun joins us now with a look at sports.
Thanks, Ijoma. Jonathan Akiemi says he's disappointed with his performance in the slalom canoeing event at the Rio Olympic Games. The 28-year-old failed to make the semi-final spot after finishing 20th with a time of 1:04.59 seconds in the men's kayak singles event. He admits that he made a huge mistake during the competition and the pressure just didn't go away.
I gave it my everything. I put in all the effort that I could, but I can't lie, I'm bitterly disappointed with the result. It came down to first runs. You have two runs. The first run was fast on the top, really fast until gate 20, and I just made a mistake, took the wrong line, and the mistake cost me dearly. And then because of that, I knew second run, everything counted on the second run, and that was unfortunately the pressure got to me, and I rushed the run, and made mistakes here, mistakes there, so the time was slow. So the second run was not good enough. The first one, because of the pressure, because I knew the first one I'd made a big mistake. So it was quick enough on the top. Until gate 20 it was quick enough. The mistake cost me the place in the semi-final.
National 100 meters champion Shea Ogunlewe says he is enjoying the summer games and is focused on being successful in his event. Ogunlewe clocked 10.12 seconds at the All Nigeria Athletics Championships in July this year and will begin his campaign on Saturday the 13th of this month. The 24-year-old is also tipping shot putter Stephen Mozia as his surprise medalist in Brazil. And Nigeria's under-23 soccer team coach Samson Siasia says he's focusing on resolving the defensive frailties that has seen the team concede 6 goals. Coach Siasia says he's convinced that Wednesday's 2-0 loss against Colombia was down to avoidable mistakes, and he wants a more solid backline against the Scandinavians, Denmark. The African champions face Denmark in the quarterfinal on Saturday at the Fonte Nova Arena in Salvador. NPFL All-Star coach Salisu Yusuf has played down the commendations to the players after their gallant loss to Valencia in the first match of the La Liga tour. Valencia shot into the lead after 8 minutes when Alvaro Medran headed home across from the left. The NPFL All-Stars battled back and equalized on the half-hour through Aimba forward Joseph Osadiaye. Rodrigo Moreno became the hero for the Spanish Giants after he scored the winner in the 83rd minute. But Coach Yusuf promised a new game plan when his team confronts Malaga on Friday. And that's a wrap in sports news. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
Voting has ended in Zambia's presidential election and referendum on proposed amendments to the constitution. 6.6 million registered voters had been expected to cast their ballot in Africa's second biggest producer of copper. President Edgar Lungu and the opposition candidate are both contesting for more than 50% of valid votes cast. And the UN Special Envoy for Syria says experts are investigating reports of a gas believed to be chlorine being dropped on Aleppo a few weeks ago. 4 people had died in the attack, many of them injured. Those who made it to hospital are receiving treatment. A member of staff of the hospital said they had received a lot of casualties from the young to old. Chlorine is a common industrial chemical, but its use in weapons is banned by the Chemical Weapons Convention. Earlier today, some doctors still in the rebel-held city appealed to the U.S. President Barack Obama to come to the aid of 250,000 civilians there. They said that in the past month there had been 42 attacks on medical facilities in Syria, 15 of them on hospitals where they work. And U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump continues to rub American public office holders the wrong way, recently saying President Barack Obama is the founder of the Islamic State. Trump told a rally in Florida on Wednesday that the militants honor President Obama. His rival in the presidential race, Hillary Clinton, was not spared from Trump's caustic tongue, and he called her co-founder of ISIS. Today he said Mr. Obama and Mrs. Clinton were Islamic State's most valuable players. For the past 10 days, Trump has made headlines with negative comments. He had barely gotten out of one in which he appeared to urge supporters to take up arms against Hillary Clinton to stop her from appointing liberal judges to the U.S. Supreme Court if she wins the election, when he threw in another. And the main news again. The National Human Rights Commission today indicted 118 persons, including some former governors, for violence and electoral malpractices during the 2007 and 2011 general elections. However, former Delta State Governor Emmanuel Uduaghan said the commission did not properly study the appeal court judgment which exonerated him. Also today, the president admitted Nigeria's dire economic situation. But the president insisted that his administration's commitment to transparency is yielding the desired results. And in the Middle East, the United Nations investigated evidence of toxic gas, an attack on the rebel-held area of the Syrian city of Aleppo. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks a lot for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Onyaso. You have a good night.